Welcome, Stipendiatinnen und Stipendiaten, dear postdoctoral fellows, researchers in North America and all over the world with interest in the research landscape in Germany. We welcome you first because for you, we are doing this conference. It is my pleasure to welcome you to GAIN21 Conference and Talent Fair. This annual event, now for the second time in a virtual format, is organized by the German Academic International Network, GAIN, which is a joint initiative by the Alexander von Humboldt Foundation, the German Academic Exchange Service, and the German Research Foundation, and is funded by the German Ministry of Education and Research. And now it is my honor to welcome Frau Ministerin Karliczek, members of the German Parliament, and the President of the Alexander von Humboldt Foundation, Professor Dr. Pape, the President of the German Academic Exchange Service, Professor Dr. Mukherjee, and the President of the German Research Foundation, Professor Dr. Becker. Welcome also to the many university presidents, rectors, representatives of German universities, universities of applied sciences, research organizations, startups, ministries, networks, and welcome, dear GAIN Advisory Board. Welcome to GAIN21. Only together with you, we can make the GAIN conference program a success and fulfill our mission to create networks, provide information, and offer advising. My name is Anna Oberle-Brill, and I'm the program director for GAIN. I welcome you from the GAIN office here in New York City. The German Academic International Network is the network of scientists and researchers of all disciplines from Germany, working at leading research institutions worldwide with special focus on the United States and Canada. GAIN helps its members maintain and build their international networks and facilitates transatlantic mobility and cooperation. Today, we offer a special welcome also to our international researchers with interest in the research landscape in Germany. Together with my colleague Charlotte Dröll, we inform the GAIN community year-round about news and recent developments in the research landscape in Germany. We do this through our monthly newsletter, our GAIN website with specific pages both for German and international researchers, and through our social media channels. We advise at conferences and events, and we support the organization of about 50 science Stammtische all over the world. But our annual conference is undoubtedly the highlight of our year. We invite you to network with the many postdocs, scientists, and experts from all science disciplines, as well as get information about career paths and funding opportunities in Germany through our workshops and webcast program. Our talent fair, which features more than 60 German universities, research institutions, networks, government representatives, businesses and industries, and funding agencies, offers jobs, advising, and provides valuable insight and best practices. Meet experts and peers from all areas of the international science community and get inspired. The past months have once again shown how important in that international science collaboration and mobility is in searching for answers for the many global challenges. We are proud that the GAIN21 conference can be a platform for this exchange. And now, without further ado, I invite you to join me in watching the opening remarks of Minister Karliczek and the presidents of the German Research Foundation, Professor Dr. Becker, the German Academic Exchange Service, Professor Dr. Mukherjee, and the Alexander von Humboldt Foundation, Professor Dr. Pape.
Liebe Wissenschaftlerinnen und Wissenschaftler, ganz herzlich willkommen zur 21. GAIN-Tagung. Das letzte Jahr hat uns doch allen deutlich gezeigt, die Wissenschaft rückt zunehmend in die Mitte der Gesellschaft. Und mit wissenschaftlichem Know-how können wir den Klimawandel bekämpfen, rettende Impfstoffe entwickeln und auch Wohlstand schaffen. Besonders junge Forscherinnen und Forscher bringen immer wieder neue Sichtweisen und damit wichtige Beiträge zum Erkenntnisgewinn und Innovation ein. Sie stehen jetzt an ihrer entscheidenden Phase der Karriere. Und deshalb ist es mir wichtig, Ihnen noch einmal unsere besondere Wertschätzung zu überbringen. Wir möchten Ihnen gute Unterstützung zuteil werden lassen. Und das deutsche Wissenschaftssystem hat enorm viel zu bieten. Eine breit aufgestellte, vielfältige Forschungslandschaft, exzellente Hochschulen in allen Teilen unseres Landes, gelebte Wissenschaftsfreiheit, akademisch spannende, herausfordernde Perspektiven und auch gute Bedingungen für junge Familien. Für uns als Bundesregierung steht die Förderung der Wissenschaft ganz oben auf unserer Agenda. Wir wollen, dass Sie Erfolg haben. Sie sind wichtig für eine gute Zukunft unseres Landes und wir werben um Sie. Wir wollen Ihnen attraktive Karrierewege in Deutschland anbieten können und dafür haben wir unter anderem das Tenure-Track-Programm geschaffen. Bis 2032 stellt der Bund 1 Milliarde Euro für 1000 Tenure-Track-Professuren bereit. Gleichzeitig schaffen die Länder 1000 unbefristete Professuren. Viele der frisch ernannten Tenure-Track-Professorinnen und Professoren kommen direkt aus dem Ausland. Und auch unsere Unterstützung für die Fachhochschulen und Hochschulen für angewandte Wissenschaften macht Wertschätzung deutlich. FHs und HAWs sind hochattraktive Arbeitgeber für unser Wissenschaftssystem, auch unverzichtbare Player. Und genau hier setzt zum Beispiel das FH-Programm FH-Personal an. 430 Millionen Euro stellen wir bis 2028 zusammen mit den Ländern zur Verfügung, um professorales Personal für die FHs und die HAWs zu gewinnen und zu qualifizieren. Die letzten 4 Jahre waren für die Weiterentwicklung unseres Wissenschaftssystems sehr gute Jahre. Noch nie hat es in Deutschland für Hochschulen und Forschungseinrichtungen so langfristige finanzielle Sicherheiten gegeben. Mit dem Zukunftsvertrag Studium und Lehre stärken und auch der Exzellenzinitiative stehen dauerhaft viele Milliarden Euro zusätzlich zur Verfügung. Wir wollen ein klares Signal senden. Exzellenz in der Spitze und Qualität in der Breite gehören in Deutschland zusammen. Und besonders froh bin ich darüber, dass die neue junge Stiftung Innovation in der Hochschullehre auch zu dieser Jahrestagung beiträgt. Sie ist weltweit einmalig. Sie soll die Lehre an unseren Hochschulen immer auf dem Stand der Zeit und den Möglichkeiten halten. Sie zeigt, wie viel Dynamik bei uns auch in der Lehre steckt. Liebe junge Forschende, in den kommenden Tagen können Sie in verschiedenen Workshops wichtige Initiativen und Projekte in Deutschland kennenlernen. Nehmen Sie das Angebot wahr. Wir freuen uns, wenn Sie Ihre Erfahrungen und Erkenntnisse in den wissenschaftlichen, vor allem aber auch in den gesellschaftlichen Diskurs einbringen. In Deutschland warten viele attraktive Arbeitsplätze und Karrieremöglichkeiten auf Sie. Wir freuen uns auf Ihr Wissen und auch Ihr Talent.
Dear fellow researchers, dear GAIN community, it is with great pleasure that I welcome you all to the annual GAIN conference. As you might know, this conference is a classic in its own lifetime. And classics are classics because what they promote remains topical. Networking, dialogue, and an open-minded attitude are fundamental to any kind of high-quality research. That is why these traits of an academic cosmopolitanism are actively supported by 3 German research funding organizations. The German Academic Exchange Network, the GAAD, the Alexander von Humboldt Foundation, and last but not least, the organization I have the pleasure to preside over. This is the German Research Foundation, the DFG. Although these 3 organizations have different missions, we all share the common goal of promoting an attitude of intellectual openness to new ideas and new perspectives. Perspectives that can change when you travel and live abroad, but also when you carry out research. Immersing yourself in a different culture confronts you with unexpected opinions that sometimes may be hard to comprehend and harder still to fathom. The same applies to epistemic dynamics when you pursue research. Here too, we may stumble upon challenging results and sometimes answers that are hard to digest. But isn't this where the real joy of academic work begins to unfold? This is work that many of us would never call by that name, even though discipline and stamina are needed to take pleasure in the pursuit of intellectual adventure. It is true to say that seeking out the adventure of curiosity is not always the same as following an academic career, but it ought to be. And the joint mission of our 3 GAIN organizations is to help you find your own way to grow, intellectually, academically, and personally too. Ideally, there should be no contradiction between these 3 levels of development. Whatever the path may be that lies ahead of you, we are here to support you. And I am very confident that the German research system has a wealth of precious opportunities to offer you. As such, this landscape provides many reasons for optimism, as it is both excellent and diverse, as well as providing an extraordinarily high degree of research freedom. A degree of freedom I myself always enjoyed and valued when pursuing my research career in medical biochemistry at the universities of Heidelberg, Würzburg, and Gießen. Indeed, many of our partners worldwide are quite envious of this freedom of ours. Today, I wish to elaborate briefly on how this freedom manifests itself and what is characteristic about it. In times of a pandemic, this freedom even takes on new qualities, such as responsibility. Responsibility is entrusted to us as researchers in order to contribute to public trust in science and academia. After all, the pandemic has shaped our awareness of how vulnerable our interconnected lives are, demonstrating the importance of research integrity and inclusiveness in a new and even extended sense. In these times, it is more important than ever to contribute to societal cohesion, to fact-based discussions, and to societal trust. As the president of Europe's largest funding organization for curiosity-driven research, I believe researchers contribute in the best possible way to the common good when they do what they do best. They ask powerful questions, they pursue the enlightening path of curiosity, and develop scientific methods in a responsible way, so as to tap into new and unexpected knowledge. Knowledge that results from curiosity-driven research, such as that conducted by the founder of BioNTech, Ugur Sahin. His work was funded by the DFG many years ago, laying the foundations, as he himself put it, for the swift development of the new mRNA vaccination method, which has gone on to save countless lives all over the world. This is the kind of knowledge we need today and for the future, a future that begins here and now. A new chapter might be about to begin in your research careers, with the DFG at your side. So, let me say a brief word about the DFG funding mechanism. As you might know, the DFG rarely works with specific calls. Instead, you can apply for funding at any time with any topic and any size of project. In addition, we offer plenty of special funding instruments for early career researchers. So, in a nutshell, we are here to build your future career. This has been our expertise for more than a century. And with you at our side, we will be able to build a prosperous future for everyone. A future that will depend heavily on the results obtained by tomorrow's best researchers. Now, let me conclude. Though these times may be difficult, both socially and in terms of research processes, may we draw courage from the fact that what we are going through now is exceptional. In a situation such as this, new ideas may in fact flourish more easily than under normal conditions. So be courageous and confident and trust in the power of your own ideas, approaches and solutions. They've already brought you a long way and they will continue to do just that. At any rate, that is what I wish for you most sincerely. And now, above all, I hope you will really enjoy engaging in discussion and drawing inspiration from each other. Thank you very much.
Dear GAIN community, on behalf of the German Academic Exchange Service, I bid you a warm welcome to the GAIN21 conference. This is already the second time that the GAIN community meets in a digital format. Digital or not, our mission remains the same. The GAIN network and its annual meetings aim to show young German scholars and scientists in North America and worldwide exciting pathways to successful academic and business careers in Germany. In addition to numerous workshops and webcasts, GAIN21 offers a unique opportunity to talk directly to rectors and presidents of universities, directors of research institutes, business representatives, startup entrepreneurs, and government officials from Germany. We hope in particular that your GAIN experience will provide ample testimony to the fact that Germany harbors an excellent science and research landscape. The corona pandemic has shown that science and research provide the answers and solutions to grand challenges that we jointly face in a global community sharing this one planet Earth. And we all are fully aware that numerous other challenges can only be solved at a global level, ranging from cultural conflicts to the impact of climate change. Against this background, the importance of building sustainable global networks can hardly be exaggerated. Please utilize GAIN21 as a virtual networking space. We hope, of course, that your networks with German partners will lead you, in one way or another, in one phase of your career or another, to Germany. We are all looking forward to welcoming you or welcoming you back in Germany in the not too distant future. Whatever your future career will look like, one ideal opportunity to meet in Germany, hopefully after overcoming the current pandemic and face-to-face, will be GAIN 2022 in Bonn. For now, let me wish you a wonderful and useful GAIN21 experience.
Welcome to all internationally mobile researchers and to the GAIN community. In this pandemic, science is in greater demand than ever before, whether we are talking about the rapid development of vaccines or political and public consultancy. In a very short time, science has achieved really great things. That is very positive and I believe a reason to feel proud. In the process, however, the bar for future success has been raised extremely high. The pressure of people's expectations is growing. According to a current survey, more than 80% of the researchers participating responded that science was under greater pressure than it used to be to find solutions to existing problems in a short time. The pandemic and its impact dominate the headlines at present. Together with climate change, aging societies, social and political tension, as well as topics like artificial intelligence, these are just some of the other major challenges which science is supposed to help solve. And for you, young researchers, the growing expectation that research should be utilitarian is one of the three challenges that have become greater, or at least more obvious, due to the pandemic. The first challenge, the expectation that science should be utilitarian, not only creates pressure to produce, it changes our work by reducing the tolerance for wrong pathways, provisional results, and errors. Moreover, research topics whose use is not immediately clear threaten to get pushed into the background. The fact notwithstanding that all scientific knowledge is useful, it just has to be communicated properly. Which brings me to the second challenge, the demand that science should be communicated more and better, that it should become involved, enter into a dialogue, and make its knowledge processes transparent. This is something that requires expertise, and above all, it requires time. And often, both are missing. And thirdly and finally, there is the issue of rethinking academic mobility. Especially young researchers like yourselves increasingly have to find ways of nurturing their networks and careers digitally. This challenge will not go away even when, as we hope, we shall all be able to travel again in the not too distant future without the restrictions imposed by the pandemic. The Alexander von Humboldt Foundation sponsorship opportunities are certainly not the panacea that will enable us to do justice to all these challenges and expectations. But there could be useful options for you. Through our fellowships, we allow you to enjoy academic mobility with the greatest possible flexibility and to combine the best of both worlds, physical and virtual mobility. And in addition, we give you the chance to choose your research topic yourself and to dedicate yourself to it. Moreover, you gain access to a worldwide multidisciplinary network where you can make important new contacts. We even assist you with opportunities in the field of science communication, such as our communication lab for exchange between research and media. With our strategies on sustainability, diversity and the future of international academic mobility, we at the Foundation are currently working on topics that affect us all. And the GAIN meeting is important to the Humboldt Foundation as a place for sharing ideas on precisely these structural topics. Ladies and gentlemen, the pandemic has shown how important science is and how much we are needed. I do not only see the diversity of expectations and demands as a burden, but also as recognition. We really have achieved a lot, which makes me feel optimistic, not least for the continued development of our system. To this end, we need you, your ideas, your criticism and your energy, not just to look at things critically, but, if necessary, to change them and do them better. I hope you will find the discussions at this meeting inspiring and wish you every success in all your undertakings.
Thank you very much. And now, before we move on to the first round of workshops and webcasts, I wanted to take a few additional moments and go over some of the features of our virtual conference center. You have already made it here. You already overcame the first hurdle, logging into yet another event platform. So you all entered the event and came into the event lobby. Through this, you see 4 doors. These are very important doors. The first one leads to the workshops. This is where all attendees enter the workshops that you registered for beforehand at the time that the workshop takes place. The next door is the auditorium. This is where the webcasts take place. This is where you currently are. In another room in the auditorium is the research library. This is where you can find webcasts that were recorded afterwards. And this is also where you can find documents and information on the workshops if the people who presented chose to share them with us after those workshops have taken place. Then the next door leads you to the talent fair, which is really also a central location of our conference. This is where the over 60 universities at over 50 talent fair booths represent themselves, share information, advise. That's where you go for your advising appointments. Some of you have pre-registered for advising appointments, but everyone is welcome to just drop in and learn more about the many institutions that are represented here. Then the next room is the networking hall. And there you can really also help us fulfill yet another one of the very important missions of GAIN, which is networking and connecting. I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. Here you can see on the top left, under the symbol of a calendar, you can see actually your personalized agenda. This is very helpful in seeing what's happening at what point, and it also leads you, that's another option, to the workshops that you registered for. On this agenda, you see on the one hand all the plenary events that everyone can attend, webcasts, and then very specific to you, the workshops that you registered for. Another important feature that is also geared towards really connecting people, which is one of the main goals that we all have for this conference, is looking for people who are on the platform, for example, through the talent fair represented organizations. You can find that information through the search function on the top of the platform. And there you can see here, for example, what universities, research institutions, and other entities are represented. And that will lead you right to their talent fair booth. You can also search for people in this search function. Then, as I said, one of the halls, one of the big doors in the entryway is the networking hall. The networking hall will lead you to this image, which is the basically agenda of our Wonder Me networking lounges. Please take a look, familiarize yourself with Wonder Me, which is a really cool and fun way to interact and initiate conversations. This is also where our Stipendiatinnen und Stipendiatentreffen will take place today. Make sure you don't miss that, and we look forward to seeing you there as well. A special shout out at this point also for Thursday, where the GAIN Advisory Board invites to a networking lounge, and you can ask all the questions you've ever had to our wonderful GAIN Advisory Board. Then we mentioned that in the many mailings that we shared with you. Please understand when you go into a workshop, that will lead you to an MS Teams room, actually. We advise you to really participate in these workshops through the app, not through a browser. That makes just for a better quality. And then we also recommend that you turn off the microphone, but leave on the camera if possible. And here, just a quick thing to mention. If you encounter difficulties, we recommend that you can obviously contact me and my team at the info booth. This is also, I would like to point out, where you get the GAIN magazine, where the conference magazine, and you can ask questions that are pertaining to the content and the agenda. If you have technical issues, please go to where it says on the upper left corner, the question mark, and there the wonderful team from Meet You will be able to help you. then we would obviously also like to connect with you and encourage you to share your GAIN conference experience under the hashtag GoGain21. We would love you to do that. And then finally, I would just like to say that we very much hope that you enjoy the conference and have 3 wonderful days of exchanging knowledge, networking, and exploring the research landscape in Germany. With the virtual GAIN21 team, Charlotte Dröll, Chiara Daniels, Marlene Hödebeck, and my colleagues at the Alexander von Humboldt Foundation, Dr. Katja Young, the German Academic Exchange Service, Dr. Holger Finken, and the German Research Foundation, Dr. Katja Vettelschuss. I'm so excited about your participation and wish you a wonderful exchange of ideas and inspiration for your international science careers. Thank you very much, and enjoy the first little break before we move on to the first round of workshops. Thank you.